Coming to you from my hotel room at Evolutions by Podcast Movement, this is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news of the business of podcasting, brought to you by Spreaker from iHeart. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Up first, high fidelity. Audible rides audio boom with big investments in original content. Audio fiction, a bedrock of radio dating back to the earliest days of audio drama, has become a hotbed for testing new IP before committing to a full TV or film shoot. But on top of that are the companies committing to making audio as their primary focus. Production companies like Wondery, Campside Media, Pineapple Street Studios, and Audible. The latter has upped their original content in recent years by courting both emerging writers and casting established names like Kerry Washington, Jesse Eisenberg, and Daniel Day Kim in their Audible Originals audio fiction. A good business to get into, as Sounds Profitable data shows over 40% of U.S. adult respondents say they've listened to at least one podcast in the last month, which is about the same amount of people who've partaken of an audiobook. Up next, investor in organic. A growing tactic in direct-to-consumer marketing is for companies to onboard influencers or popular content creators in some capacity, be it as stakeholders, co-founders, or financial backers of that brand. While the creator might genuinely believe in the product when they sign on, it opens a Pandora's box of advertising issues. The National Advertising Division, a Better Business Bureau-backed, say that 3 times fast, watchdog group that looks for loopholes in self-regulation standards, argues these investments should be disclosed. For instance, Demi Moore has invested in an antacid startup, Wonderbelly, and the NAD notes she's making favorable promotional social media posts about Wonderbelly while saying they are not an ad. Something for podcasting to keep in mind as the industry matures and podcast hosts continue to grow stronger relationships with the DTC brands that they've worked with for extended periods of time. Up next, GroupM to double media spend on women's sports. GroupM has announced an intention to double investment commitment this year and wants to create a standalone women's sports marketplace for this year's upfront marketplace. The mini fridge in my room just kicked on. Good luck to my noise canceling. And given the price difference between advertising on men's games versus women's, advertising dollars can make a bigger splash in the growing women's field. One example given was the savings from cutting down just one men's NBA final game from the advertising budget. With that, a company could theoretically buy an entire season's worth of sponsorship of a women's sports league. And for advertisers thinking about where to go, there's plenty of women's sports podcasts to go around, such as Edit Audio's WNBA-focused series Rebound Revolution. And finally, why true crime podcasts are great for advertisers. Strategic Media Incorporated breaks down the data about true crime's grip on podcasting, such as Pew Research's study of over 450 top podcasts that found 24% of those podcasts are true crime. Steve Mondor, podcast operations at SMI, believes the genre's success is based in the inherently intimate nature of audio. Podcasts are built for sharing thrills and storytelling that generally come packaged in true crime. Just over $65 million in ad spend was tracked for 2020 in the true crime podcast area. That number increased to $178 million by 2023. As for the rest of the news, the New York Times covers the growing phenomenon of child stars finding their second act reconnecting with their older Gen Z and millennial fans who are now adults in podcasting. Wondery's COO Janine Wright is leaving the company. Airwave plans to launch a book imprint with Ben Bella, and Bill Maher is launching a podcast network with Sage Steele set to host the first show. Be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or at soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to the newsletter version. The download is written and produced by Brian Barletta, myself, and Tom Webster. This episode is hosted on Spreaker and once again recorded with no mono. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis. Download us again tomorrow.